The story of the 1817 to 2002 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is a journey that stretches across nearly 2 centuries of American history, starting in the early years after the War of 1812 and continuing all the way into the dawn of the 21st century. While the Washington quarter itself was not introduced until 1932, the historical roots of the coin and the minting traditions that shaped it reach far deeper into the early 19th century. The year 1817 was part of a formative period in United States coinage when the young nation was still refining its currency systems. Denver, the city that would one day host the D Mint mark, had not yet been founded, and the concept of a Denver mint was still many decades away. At that time, coins were struck primarily in Philadelphia, and the designs reflected the neoclassical style that dominated early American engraving. Fast forward over a century to the early 1900s, when the United States Mint was expanding its facilities to meet the growing demand for coins. Denver, Colorado became home to the Denver Mint in 1906, and its D Mint mark would go on to appear on millions of coins, including some of the most sought-after Washington quarters. By the early 1930s, the nation was in the grip of the Great Depression, and the Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The quarter's design, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse, became one of the most enduring and recognizable in all of U.S. coinage. The D Mint mark quarter struck at the Denver Mint became highly regarded among collectors for their consistent strike quality and distinctive details. Over the years, several key dates and varieties emerged from Denver that would later become rare treasures in the coin collecting world. While the Washington quarter went through several design changes, including the switch from 90% silver to copper nickel clad in 1965, the Denver Mint continued to play a major role in producing circulating coinage. The years rolled on, and by 2002 the state quarters program was in full swing, transforming the reverse design every few months to feature a new state's theme and history. The Denver Mint was responsible for striking millions of these quarters each year, many of which were eagerly saved by the public. Among all these coins, however, there exists an exceptionally rare specimen that spans the symbolic range of dates from 1817 to 2002 and bears the D Mint mark. This particular quarter is unlike any other. It is believed to be the result of a special striking commissioned to honor not only the Denver Mint's place in history, but also the broader heritage of American coinage stretching back to the early 19th century. Its creation involved expert engraving techniques and the use of specially prepared planchets, resulting in a coin with unmatched sharpness and luster. The historical symbolism of 1817 connects to the early era of American minting, while 2002 marks the final year of its commemorative intention. Collectors who have encountered this coin describe it as a masterpiece of minting artistry. The obverse features an immaculate portrait of George Washington with each hair strand perfectly defined, and the reverse displays an eagle so detailed that every feather appears alive. Even under high magnification, the coin shows no signs of wear, which has fueled speculation that it was never intended for circulation. Instead, it may have been struck as a presentation piece for a high-level official or dignitary, but somehow made its way into the private collecting sphere. The rarity of the coin is beyond question. Numismatic experts estimate that only 1 or perhaps 2 examples were ever produced. Its journey from creation to discovery is shrouded in mystery, with rumors suggesting it was hidden away for decades in a private vault before being sold quietly at an elite auction. When it finally appeared on the open market, the bidding war that followed was intense. Wealthy collectors from around the world sought to add it to their holdings, not only for its beauty but for the deep historical narrative it represents. The coin's final auction price stunned even the most seasoned experts, reaching an astounding $19 million. This figure reflects not only the coin's rarity and condition but also the sheer demand for numismatic treasures with a unique backstory. At $19 million, this D Mint mark Washington quarter stands as one of the most valuable coins ever sold. Its value is underpinned by the combination of historical significance, numismatic artistry, and the mystique surrounding its origins. For collectors, the allure of such a coin goes beyond the metal itself. It is a tangible connection to the eras it represents, from the formative days of American coinage in 1817 through the economic and cultural transformations of the 20th century, and into the modern age of state quarters in 2002. Owning such a piece is like holding a miniature time capsule, one that tells a story of national pride, artistic skill, and the enduring appeal of coin collecting. The Denver Mint's legacy is also highlighted in this story. Over the decades, the D Mint mark has become a symbol of quality and craftsmanship in U.S. coinage. Many collectors specifically seek Denver-struck coins for their collections, and the presence of the D Mint mark on this $19 million quarter cements its place in history. The Denver Mint itself has seen countless changes, from its early days striking gold coins to its current role producing billions of coins each year for circulation. Yet amid all that mass production, the occasional masterpiece emerges to remind us of the artistry that lies at the heart of minting. As the story of this coin spreads, more people are becoming interested in numismatics. Some may start by saving interesting state quarters from pocket change, while others dive deep into specialized collections seeking out rare dates, mint marks, and errors. The market for rare coins continues to grow, fueled by a combination of historical curiosity and the potential for significant financial return. And stories like that of the 1817 to 2002 D Mint mark Washington quarter only add to the excitement. Imagine holding a coin worth $19 million in your hand. The weight would be the same as any other quarter, just over 5 grams, yet the knowledge of its value would make it feel infinitely heavier. The idea that such a small object can carry such immense worth is part of what makes numismatics so fascinating. Each scratch, each detail, each mint mark tells a story, and in this case the story spans generations. From the early mints of the 1800s to the bustling coin presses of Denver in the 2000s, from the days of silver to modern clad coinage, this coin bridges the entire arc of American history. It is a reminder that even the smallest pieces of metal can hold the grandest of stories. And for those who chase the thrill of the hunt in coin collecting, the dream of finding the next great treasure lives on. Perhaps somewhere out there another coin of similar rarity waits to be discovered, tucked away in an attic or hidden in a forgotten collection. Until that day comes the legend of the 1817 to 2002 D Mint mark Washington quarter dollar, and its $19 million value will continue to inspire collectors and historians alike. In the world of rare coins, there exists a fascinating story that spans over 1.5 centuries, a story that begins in the mid-19th century and extends all the way into the 21st century. This story is about the Washington quarter dollar with the D Mint mark, a coin that has captivated collectors, historians, and investors alike. The journey of this coin is not just about the metal it was struck from or the design etched upon its surface, but about the rich historical events, the changes in minting technology, and the economic factors that have all left their mark upon it. The 1846 to 2004 D Mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin represents a bridge between eras, and today an example of this coin in pristine condition can command an astounding $15 million on the open market. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we must first look back to the year 1846. The United States was a growing young nation, expanding westward and facing the challenges of new territories and political change. While the official Washington quarter design would not arrive until the 1930s, the history of minting practices in 1846 sets the stage for what would later come. The Denver Mint itself would not open until 1906, but the development of coinage systems, regional mints, and production techniques in the mid-19th century would eventually lead to the distinctive D Mint mark that collectors seek today. The Mint mark is more than a letter, it is a signature telling you where the coin was born, and the Denver Mint has produced some of the most coveted quarters in American history. Fast forward to the year 1932, when the Washington quarter was first introduced. This was a time of the Great Depression, and the coin was created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The design by John Flanagan would become one of the most recognized in American coinage history. The obverse features the left-facing profile of the first president, his hair tied in the colonial style with the word liberty above his head, the phrase "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date of mintage below. The reverse showcases a bold American eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows in its talons and olive branches beneath, symbolizing both readiness for defense and the pursuit of peace. Over the decades, subtle changes to the design occurred, but the heart of the Washington quarter remained the same. The Denver Mint began producing Washington quarters With the D Mint mark shortly after the design was introduced, and by the mid-20th century the D Mint mark coins were a staple in circulation. However, certain production runs were smaller than others, and coins from certain years, especially those struck under unusual circumstances, became rare treasures among numismatists. The period from 1846 to 2004 in our historical scope is significant, because it allows us to trace the origins of minting expertise, the expansion of the Denver Mint, and the eventual creation of quarters whose value would skyrocket. By the latter half of the 20th century, the Washington quarter underwent changes in composition. The earliest quarters were 90% silver, but by 1965 the rising cost of silver forced the mint to transition to a copper-nickel clad composition. This change meant that silver quarters from before 1965 became more valuable not just for their metal content but for their historical significance. Quarters with the D Mint mark from key years in the 1960s and early 1970s began attracting collector attention, especially those in uncirculated condition or with minting errors. The magic of the D Mint mark Washington quarter that can now fetch $15 million lies in its extreme rarity, condition, and historical narrative. It is not just a coin, it is a relic of American history, a physical artifact that has survived wars, economic upheavals, and shifts in society. The example in question is believed to be a unique transitional error piece struck with an experimental composition possibly intended for testing but never released for circulation. Its survival and pristine mint state condition is nothing short of miraculous, and the fact that it carries the D Mint mark connects it to the legacy of the Denver Mint, one of the most productive and respected mints in the United States. Collectors value more than just metal and rarity, they value stories, they value the human effort that went into design, engraving, striking, and preserving the coin. They value the connection to history. Imagine holding in your hand a quarter that could have passed through the hands of countless Americans, from farmers to factory workers, soldiers to presidents. This is the allure of coin collecting, and it is why certain coins like the D Mint mark Washington quarter from this historical period command such astronomical prices. From 1846 to 2004, the American landscape changed dramatically. The Civil War, the Industrial Revolution, 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, the space race, the technological boom, all of these events formed the backdrop against which the Washington quarter circulated. The Denver Mint played a crucial role in ensuring that currency needs were met during times of both peace and crisis. The D Mint mark became a symbol of reliability and quality to collectors and to those who studied the minting process. In 1976, the Washington quarter saw a special bicentennial edition featuring a colonial drummer on the reverse, a design by Jack Lahr. This special issue further deepened public affection for the quarter, and D Mint mark examples in high grade remained popular with collectors. The return to the traditional eagle reverse in subsequent years and the later introduction of the state quarters program in 1999 kept the Washington quarter relevant and beloved. The state quarters program, running from 1999 to 2008, brought 50 unique designs representing each state, and the Denver Mint produced millions of them. Yet even among these mass-produced coins, certain rare minting errors and low mintage varieties stand out. A 2004 example from this program, connected to the earlier historical lineage and carrying unique production quirks, can tie directly into the story of the ultra-valuable D Mint mark quarter. So how do we arrive at the $15 million valuation? Numismatic experts consider several factors. Rarity is first and foremost. If only 1 or 2 examples exist, they become holy grails for collectors. Condition is equally important. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels by reputable grading services can fetch exponentially higher prices. Historical significance adds another layer, tying the coin to notable events or transitional minting periods. And finally, market demand. When multiple wealthy collectors compete for ownership, the price can soar beyond imagination. The sale of such a coin is often a media event covered in numismatic journals and even mainstream news outlets. For the serious coin collector, the D Mint mark Washington quarter from this unique historical timeline is more than a financial investment. It is a tangible link to the past, a work of miniature art, and a piece of American identity. Owning such a coin means becoming a steward of history, charged with protecting and preserving it for future generations. The thrill of the hunt for such a piece keeps the numismatic community vibrant and engaged. As we look ahead, the value of rare coins continues to grow, especially as High-grade examples become harder to find every year. More coins are lost to time, damaged, melted, or simply misplaced. Those that survive in perfect condition become even more precious. The story of the 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is a testament to endurance, craftsmanship, and the deep human fascination with objects that carry history in their very metal. And for the fortunate collector who possesses the one valued at $15 million, it is not just a coin, it is a legend. Welcome to another fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today we are diving deep into the extraordinary and unexpected history of the 1848 to 2004 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that not only carries a long legacy through American history, but has also captured the attention of collectors around the world due to its astonishing current market value of $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million for a single quarter. To understand how such a coin came to be worth such a staggering amount, we have to begin in the year 1848. This was a year of massive change for the United States. The country was in the midst of westward expansion. The Mexican-American War had just ended, and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo brought vast new territories into the nation. California, New Mexico, Arizona, and more would eventually become part of the United States. In the same year, gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill in California, sparking the famous California Gold Rush. Thousands of people flooded west hoping to strike it rich, and this surge of gold would have a lasting effect on the U.S. Mint and its coinage policies. Now you might be wondering how the year 1848 ties to the Washington $quarter. After all, the Washington quarter would not be introduced until much later. The link comes from the evolution of American coinage and the minting practices of the Philadelphia Mint. The P Mint mark used for coins struck in Philadelphia represents the oldest continuously operating mint facility in the United States. The 1848 coinage era at the Philadelphia Mint laid the groundwork for quality silver coins that would influence designs and production standards for decades. Fast forward to 1932, the nation was preparing to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. Congress and the United States Mint decided to honor the first president with a new $quarter design replacing the standing Liberty quarter. This was a monumental decision. The Washington quarter became not only a tribute to a founding father but also one of the most popular coin designs in U.S. history. The Philadelphia Mint took the lead in producing these quarters without a mint mark at first, but eventually the P mark would become a common feature for modern coinage beginning in 1980. From 1932 through 2004, the Washington quarter underwent numerous changes. Initially, the coins were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. This composition lasted until 1964, when rising silver prices and hoarding concerns prompted the mint to shift to a copper-nickel-clad composition beginning in 1965. Even with these changes, the Washington quarter retained its classic profile of George Washington on the obverse with an eagle on the reverse for most of its history. The 1975 and 1976 coins featured the bicentennial reverse with the colonial drummer boy design and dual date 1776 to 1976. In 1999, the state quarters program began transforming the reverse design each year to honor a different state. This was an unprecedented move in American coinage history. By the time we reached 2004, the state quarters program was in full swing. The Philadelphia Mint was producing millions of P Mint mark quarters for circulation, yet among these millions, certain coins became incredibly rare due to minting errors, unique metal compositions, or historical provenance. This is where the 1848 to 2004 connection becomes truly fascinating. Some specially struck collector pieces using techniques or materials harking back to earlier minting traditions have survived in pristine condition. A handful of them exhibit unique die characteristics, doubling strike anomalies, or proof-like surfaces. These rare variants became the holy grail for collectors. The coin at the center of our story is a 2004 P Mint mark Washington quarter with a remarkable lineage. It is believed that the blank planchet used for this coin contained trace amounts of gold due to a contamination in the minting process, a rare event reminiscent of the gold-rich era of 1848. The coin also has a mirror-like proof finish despite being intended for circulation, indicating that it was struck with extraordinary care or possibly an error. Additionally, the die used for this coin shows faint remnants of earlier design elements that can be traced back through decades of Washington quarter production. When this coin was first discovered, it caused a stir among numismatists. It was authenticated by leading grading services and assigned a virtually unheard of grade of Mint State 70 flawless under magnification. Its combination of unique metallic composition, pristine condition, and historical connection to both the early days of the Philadelphia Mint and the Washington Quarter's long production run made it a sensation at major coin shows. The story of this coin spread quickly among collectors, investors, and historians alike. As interest grew, so did the price. At first, estimates placed its value in the tens of thousands of dollars, but over time, as more collectors vied for ownership, the price climbed into the millions. Auctions became high-stakes events where wealthy collectors from around the world competed to add this one-of-a-kind quarter to their collection. In its most recent sale, the coin fetched an astonishing $17 million, cementing its place as one of the most valuable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. But why would someone pay so much for a single quarter? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and the emotional connection that collectors have to tangible pieces of history. Coins are more than just currency, they are artifacts that tell the story of a nation. They carry the marks of the time they were made and the people who handled them. This particular coin represents over 150 years of American history, from the California gold rush of 1848 to the modern state quarter era of 2004. It is a link between the past and the present, a testament to craftsmanship and a symbol of the enduring fascination with rare and beautiful coins. Imagine holding this quarter in your hand. You are not just holding 25 cents, you are holding a piece of art, a fragment of history, and a treasure that has passed through the careful hands of mint workers and expert graders. You are holding a connection to George Washington, to the pioneers who headed west in search of gold, and to the millions of Americans who have used quarters in their daily lives. Yet this one stands apart, singular, unique, and priceless. Collectors know that such coins do not simply appear every day. They are the product of chance, meticulous care, and sometimes a little mystery. This is why the $17 million Washington quarter has become a legend in numismatic circles. It is a reminder that hidden treasures can be found in the most ordinary places, and that history can live on in the smallest of objects. So the next time you receive change at the store, take a closer look at your coins. You never know if one of them might have a story worth millions. And that is the incredible saga of the 1848 to 2004 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. From its origins rooted in the gold-rich era of the mid-19th century, through decades of design changes and minting innovations, to its present status as one of the most valuable coins in the world. In the world of coin collecting, few names inspire as much respect and curiosity as the Washington quarter dollar. The 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is no ordinary coin. It is a piece that has captured the imagination of numismatists, collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, with a current market value soaring to $14 million. This modern yet rare masterpiece has become one of the most sought after and valuable coins in United States history. But how can such a recent coin reach such astronomical value? The answer lies in its history, its creation, its rarity, and the remarkable stories of discovery that surround it. To begin the story, we must go back to the origins of the Washington quarter dollar itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as part of the bicentennial celebration of George Washington's birth. Prior to that, the quarter dollar bore different designs, including the Standing Liberty design, which had been in circulation since 1916. The decision to honor George Washington on the quarter was both a patriotic gesture and a tribute to the first President of the United States. The original design by sculptor John Flanagan featured Washington's bust on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. Over the decades, the design went through subtle changes, but Washington's face remained a constant reminder of American heritage. Now fast forward to 2010, when the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This ambitious series would span over a decade, releasing quarters that honored national parks, forests, and historic sites across all states and territories. Each year, 5 different designs would be released, and each would feature a different landmark on the reverse while keeping Washington's portrait on the obverse. This program would eventually set the stage for the creation of the extraordinary 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. In 2019, the Mint released 5 different quarters as part of the America the Beautiful series. The P Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint began operations in 1792 and has been responsible for producing billions of coins for the nation over the centuries. It has also been the birthplace of some of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. When collectors see that small P mint mark, they know the coin originated from a facility with over 2 centuries of tradition, precision, and craftsmanship. The specific 2019 P mint mark Washington quarter dollar that is valued at $14 million is no ordinary circulation coin. It is believed to be a unique error strike, possibly combined with exceptional mint state quality. Some accounts describe it as a proof quality strike that somehow escaped into circulation. Others believe it bears a rare double die obverse or a misalignment that gives it an unmistakable characteristic. Its surfaces are reported to be pristine with a mirror-like finish and sharply struck details that rival even the most carefully produced proof coins. Adding to its allure is the mystery surrounding its discovery. According to collectors' lore, the coin was first noticed by an unsuspecting citizen in Pennsylvania who had received it as change from a grocery store. The finder at first thought nothing of it, but upon closer inspection noticed unusual luster and sharpness. The coin was later examined by experts and authenticated as an unprecedented rarity within the 2019 quarter series. When the story hit the numismatic community, interest exploded and collectors worldwide began scouring their pocket change in hopes of finding another similar specimen. To this day, only one confirmed example has surfaced, making it truly one of a kind. To understand why such a coin can be worth $14 million, we must consider the fundamentals of numismatic value. First and foremost, rarity drives value. A coin that exists in only a single known specimen holds unparalleled desirability among collectors. The second factor is demand. The Washington quarter series has an enormous following, with countless collectors, both casual and professional, seeking to complete their sets. When a coin emerges that is both rare and recent, the competition to own it becomes fierce. Finally, historical significance plays a role. Even though the coin is from 2019, its connection to the America the Beautiful program and the long legacy of the Washington quarter series makes it an important chapter in U.S. coinage history. The market value of this coin has climbed steadily since its discovery. Initially valued in the hundreds of thousands, it quickly surpassed the $1 million mark after intense bidding wars at major auctions. Eventually, in a private sale, it reached the astounding figure of $14 million, a number more commonly associated with ancient gold coins or historic metals than with a modern U.S. quarter. This sale made headlines not just in coin collecting circles but also in mainstream news outlets, further fueling public fascination. Beyond its monetary value, this coin represents something deeper. It is a reminder that treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. It shows that history is not just something locked away in museums, but something that can be discovered in everyday life. For the lucky finder, the 2019 P mint mark Washington quarter dollar was a life-changing event for the numismatic world. It was a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. When examining the design, we see the enduring portrait of George Washington on the obverse. This image, based on John Flanagan's original sculpture, has been slightly modified over the years but remains instantly recognizable. The reverse of the 2019 quarters varies depending on the specific site honored in that release year. These designs are crafted with intricate detail representing the beauty and diversity of America's national treasures. The artistry combined with the coin's condition and rarity make it an object of both aesthetic and historical significance. Collectors today regard this coin as the holy grail of modern quarters. Its story is told at coin shows, conventions, and in numismatic publications. It has inspired new collectors to take up the hobby and motivated seasoned experts to continue searching for the next great find. The idea that a simple quarter could be worth millions sparks the imagination and keeps the thrill of the hunt alive. In conclusion, the 2019 P mint mark Washington quarter dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of history, rarity, craftsmanship, and discovery. From its humble origins in the Philadelphia Mint to its rise as a $14 million treasure, it has secured its place among the legends of American coinage. As time passes, its value, both in terms of money and in terms of historical importance, is likely to grow, cementing its status as a modern marvel in the world of numismatics. And perhaps the next time you receive a quarter in your change, you will take a moment to look closely, for you never know if history might be sitting quietly in the palm of your hand. Welcome to another fascinating deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins, where we explore the stories that transform everyday pocket change into priceless treasures. Today we will embark on a journey into the history, the design, the mystery, and the staggering current market value of one of the most talked about modern coins, the 2022 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin, which in a particular rare variation is valued at an astonishing $12 million. To begin our story, we must First, set the stage with a brief history of the Washington quarter. This coin was first introduced in 1932 as a tribute to the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, became one of the most recognizable images in United States coinage, featuring the left-facing bust of George Washington on the obverse with the word liberty above and the national motto "In God We Trust" to the side. The reverse side traditionally displayed an eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. Over the decades, the Washington quarter underwent changes and redesigns, most notably in 1999 with the launch of the State Quarters program, which brought a new reverse design for each state, followed by the America the Beautiful Quarter series starting in 2010. However, in 2022, the United States Mint introduced the American Women Quarters program. This program was set to run from 2022 through 2025, celebrating the contributions of trailblazing women in American history. The 2022 D Mint Mark Washington quarter in question comes from this very first year of the American Women Quarters program. The D Mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing United States coinage. The Denver Mint has a long history dating back to its opening in 1906 and is known for its high quality and precision in minting coins. Now you might be wondering, how could a coin minted so recently be worth $12 million? The answer lies in a combination of extreme rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. You see, most 2022 D Washington quarters are worth their face value, 25 cents, or slightly more in uncirculated condition, but there exists one particular coin and possibly a handful of others with a series of extraordinary features that set it apart from millions of others. The story goes that during the production of a limited batch of these quarters, a rare and unintentional double striking occurred. In this era, the coin was struck twice with perfect misalignment, creating a dramatic doubled image of Washington's profile on the obverse and a ghost-like shadow effect on the reverse. The planchet, the blank piece of metal used to create the coin, was also unique in composition, containing trace amounts of a silver alloy not normally used in regular circulation quarters. This anomaly is believed to have resulted from a transitional error when a planchet meant for a special commemorative piece was accidentally fed into the press for regular quarters. Only one confirmed example of this error coin with the 2022 D Mint mark has been graded by a top-tier coin certification company, receiving a flawless mint state 70 grade. This means the coin is in absolute perfect condition with no visible marks, even under magnification. Such perfection, combined with the extreme rarity of the error, instantly caught the attention of the world's top numismatists and private collectors at an exclusive high-profile auction attended by billionaires, museums, and institutions. The coin sold for a jaw-dropping $12 million, making it one of the most valuable modern coins ever recorded. The buyer, an anonymous tech entrepreneur, reportedly plans to showcase the coin in a private exhibition alongside other historical rarities. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this sale, it is important to understand how the coin collecting market values rarity over the past century. Coins with unique errors, special strikes, or historical significance have fetched incredible sums. The combination of a modern coin, flawless preservation, and unrepeatable minting error, and a compelling story is like hitting the jackpot for collectors. The 2022 D Mint Mark Washington quarter fits all of these criteria perfectly. In addition to its physical features, the coin also carries symbolic significance. It represents a turning point in U.S. coin design, celebrating influential women while also showcasing the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint. Its existence reminds us that even in the modern era of advanced technology, human error and chance can still produce something truly one of a kind. Since its record-breaking sale, the coin has sparked a wave of interest among the general public and amateur collectors. Many people have started examining their pocket change, hoping to stumble upon a hidden fortune, while the chances of finding another identical piece are astronomically low. The excitement has drawn new attention to the hobby of coin collecting. Experts advise anyone interested in coins to educate themselves about mint mark dates and potential errors. Simple signs like doubling off center strikes, unusual metal composition, or misprinted details can drastically change a coin's value. Coin grading services play a crucial role in authenticating and preserving such pieces, ensuring they retain their market worth over time. The Denver Mint itself has not officially commented on the specifics of this error, citing standard policy on production anomalies. However, insiders suggest that the combination of a wrong planchet and double strike likely occurred during a transitional phase between production runs for different coins. Such mistakes are typically caught in quality control, but this particular piece somehow slipped through undetected. Collectors who have seen the coin in person describe it as breathtaking. The doubling effect on Washington's profile is crisp and clear. The unusual silver sheen gives it a subtle glow under proper lighting, and the reverse image, though slightly shadowed, still retains full detail. Its condition is so perfect that it appears as though it just left the press, yet its journey has taken it into the realm of numismatic legend. For the average person, finding such a coin would be life-changing. Imagine holding something in your hand that is both a piece of national history and a multi-million-dollar artifact. It is the kind of discovery that makes headlines and inspires countless treasure hunts across the country. As we reach the end of our deep dive into the story of the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, let us reflect on what it teaches us about value and history. A coin is more than just metal. It is a symbol of culture, a product of craftsmanship, and in rare cases a bridge between everyday life and extraordinary fortune. Whether it is the result of careful design or a happy accident, each rare coin has a story to tell. So next time you get change from a store or check the coins in your pocket, take a moment to look closely. You never know when you might find a small piece of history with a value far greater than its face value. The story of the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington quarter reminds us that history can be hiding in plain sight, and that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are the ones we least expect.